Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of FoolCraft. Today we are progressing even further into Britannia. Last episode we set up our pure daisies, our automatic petal apothecary, and our automatic system for feeding endoflames. Today I wanted to go even further and start creating some of the cooler stuff that comes with Britannia. But first, I have a bunch of black lotus and blacker lotuses. They were in my system, I believe, from the mob farm. Opening up the legendary loot bags gives you these. So the cool thing is you can just throw them into your mana pool, and yeah, it fills them rather nicely. And that might be close to full, so I don't know if I want to waste any more. Yeah, that's all I'll put in for now. We'll save those. So if you don't want to do all of this Britannia stuff, if you're not trying to progress through it like I am, what you can do is make a big mob farm, bigger than the one I have, obviously, and let it run all the time, and open up all the legendary loot bags, and then you'll have enough blacker lotuses to probably run all of Britannia without ever doing mana production. But in any case, today I wanted to get started on the runic altar. So this is the next stage of the things that we want to accomplish in Britannia. The runic altar is a crafting system by which you can make some of the, well, runes that you need for Britannia. And you can see there's 3 levels of runes. The first level are elements, water, fire, earth, air, and I believe mana, though that might be second level. Anyway, yeah, and then the second level is spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And you can tell that they're second level because they need the first level ones in order to create them. And then, of course, the final level is 7 deadly sins: lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. And this is the stuff that you can make the really cool things with. So that's where we want to get. And again, you can tell it's 3rd level because it requires a 1st level and a 2nd level in order to make it. So, to get started, we need to make the altar itself. And there's 2 different ways you can make this. You can either use a mana pearl or a mana diamond. And of course you need living rock, which I believe we have enough of. Yes, but let's put down some more. Just to be safe. Because if there's one thing you always need more of, it's living wood and living rock. Like, there's no point during Britannia that you stop needing these. Okay, so runic altar. What we're gonna need is either a mana pearl or a mana diamond. Let's see what we have the most of. We have 174 ender pearls, and we have 43 diamonds. Of course, we have enough essence to make as much of either as we want, but I'll just go ahead and grab an ender pearl. I'm actually going to grab, yeah, a couple of these. So to change an ender pearl into a mana pearl, you can see when you hold it in your hand and hover over the mana pool, there's an arrow with a green check mark over it. That means if I throw this ender pearl into this mana pool, it will become an mana pearl. So we're just gonna do all of them because sooner or later we'll need them. Okay, so we take our living rock in an upside down boat shape, mana pearl, and that is our runic altar. And let me see, what do we have? I'm going to grab another one of these mystical red petals and some more living wood because I want to make another spreader. I think I need some gold as well. I always forget the gold. The reason is because I learned to play Britannia on Skyblock maps, and the Skyblock maps usually take the gold out of the recipe so that you can get into Britannia much more easily. All right, so mana spreader here. When I put this here, I can hook it up to this mana pool. Oh, it's already hooked up. Okay, cool. So this mana spreader is hooked up to this mana pool, and it will spread its mana to wherever we want it to go. I could put the runic altar down over here and have this provide mana to it, but what I prefer to do is have a pool here that I can use as a battery, and then put mana spreaders around it, because there's a couple of other contraptions that require mana that we're going to need. All right, so runic altar goes right here, and it looks cool. It's got this little cool cubey animation on it. Very neat. So what we need to make our first rune is rune. We'll do the rune of water first. So what we need is a mana steel ingot, mana powder, fishing rod, sugar canes, and bone meal. Let's see. We have some string. Do we have sugar cane? We do not, but I know I can craft it. So let's just grab some nature essence. And then I believe I have some bone meal in the chest. And let's see what we have for powder. Let's see, niter. You can use any kind of powder. Let's see what this sugar does. Yes, even sugar. You can use any kind of powder in the mana pool to create mana powder. So let's go ahead and just plop that in. And then to create the mana steel, in this pack especially, there's a couple ways you can go about it. We have some in here from loot bags. You can grow it with mystical agriculture. You can milk cows. There's cows that have mana steel in them, but what we're going to do is just do it the Britannia way and drop iron ingots into the mana pool. And there we go. I did a stack because we're going to use these a lot. Okay, so we need to create a fishing rod. There we go. And then we need to create some... Was this not it? This wasn't it, was it? Sugar cane. This is why I like having the nature essence. Oh, okay. Not the shuriken. Jeez. Oh, that was too much sugar cane. Whoops. Well, I guess we'll never run out. Alright, so to put stuff on the altar, you just right click and you'll see when you mouse over it, it shows that you have sugarcane in there, and it will also show as an animation floating around it, which I think is cool. And then we need mana powder, mana steel. And if you make a mistake and you click something in there that you don't want in there, you just shift right click and it'll take the last thing that you put in out. You can take everything out that way. You gotta use an empty hand though. So it doesn't matter what order you put things in. Bone meal. Here we go. Right. That noise means that you have a correct recipe. When you mouse over the runic altar, it shows you the ingredients and then an arrow with a red X in it, meaning it's not finished. And then on the right, and it just finished, so you can see it changed into a green check mark. On the right, you'll see a clock over whatever rune it is that you're making. And the clock is like a green pie-shaped clock thing. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And that shows you how much time you have left on your rune. This one got finished fairly quickly because it's a very low-level rune, and we have a lot of mana in our mana pool. Also, when it's done, you can tell without even mousing over because you get this blue lightning effect. And to finish it off, we need, where's my wand? There it is. Okay, so to finish this off, you can see below the arrow, it shows a piece of living rock and a wand. So what you need to do is toss it. Don't right click it, just toss it. The piece of living rock onto the altar, and then you hit right click, and that will give you your runes. Easy, easy. Okay, let's throw all this stuff in here. We don't need any of it. All right, so runes. Runes are something that we need to make things kind of further down the line in Britannia. And one of the things that we're gonna make is the Botanical Brewery. Yeah, see, it's kind of a second level, but it's also kind of a first level because it doesn't require any first level stuff, but it's got a lot of, yeah. Anyway. Anyway, we have to make a rune of mana is how that ends up there. 4, 5. There we go. I don't need the Botanical Brewery for anything right now, but we will probably need it in the future, so I want to make sure we have it on hand. And you can see the clock is ticking down, showing how much time we have left. Should be, and there we go, we're done. I will be honest with you, I don't know how to automate the runic altar. I don't know. Oops, I just added back the last recipe. It's the same as the Petal Apothecary. If you right click it with an empty hand, it will add back the last recipe. So don't do that unless you're making multiple. Anyway, I don't know how to automate the runic altar. In general, you don't need to make that many runes, but I'll do some research and see if there's any way to automate this, because, I mean, if we can automate, why wouldn't we? Okay, let's gather up all this stuff in case we need it. And then go over here. I believe it's a block of mana steel, botanical. Oh, and we need a brewing stand. Okay. I think I have everything I need for a brewing stand. Brew. I don't have one on me, unfortunately. Yes, okay. I think we have a ton of blaze rods in there. And back to Britannia. It seems like it's always dark when I'm working over here. Like, is it just me? I don't know. So, Botanical Brewery. There we go. And let's grab just one, please. Gold. It's only the second time I've made this episode. You'd think I'd remember what I need. All right. So living wood, gold. Where's my petal? And a petal. All right. So now we can set this up on the same mana pool. And there we go. Now this is providing power to the Botanical Brewery. So the Botanical Brewery is pretty cool. It's not something we're probably going to need a lot in this pack because honestly we're so OP. Like, oh hey, some living wood on the ground. With our weapons and things that it's unlikely we're going to need a lot. But it's useful to have, and plus, like I said, I want to progress through Britannia without cheating too much by using the OP stuff. Okay, so the Botanical Brewery, as the name might suggest, creates potions. And the cool thing about it, I don't know if you can see, I don't know what they're called. Maybe if I click on you, it'll, okay. Okay, here we go. Flasks. Yes, flasks and vials. The Botanical Brewery takes flasks and vials in order to create the potions. And the flasks will give you 4 potions in one, while the vials, or the vials will give you 4 potions in one, while the flasks give you 6. That means you can store 4 doses of a particular potion in one vial, and you can store 6 doses of a particular potion in a flask, which, you know, keeps your inventory a little bit clearer, which is cool. But you can also create some interesting brews. There's, let's see, flask of, here we go, the Flask of Overload. This will give you Strength 4 and Speed 3, but it will also give you Weakness 3 and Hunger 3. Like, it's kind of weird. And then there's different things like Bloodthirst. I don't know what that does. Emptiness. I believe... Yeah, I could look it up in the book. In fact, let's do so. Onto the forest. Mana manipulation. Natural apparatus. One of the reasons I don't particularly like the book is that it's not organized in a way that's easy for me to understand. That's all the stuff you can make. We'll be getting to that. Natural apparatus. Oh, here we go. Complex brews. A brew that applies both positive and negative effects. There you go. Taking it leaves the affected individual in a state of power, but also vulnerability. This is weird. Brew of Cross Souls. An entity affected with this brew's effect will regain HP whenever they slay any other creature. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know about that one. Feather Feet. Immune to fall damage. Vanity's Emptiness. An aura of emptiness around any entity that has its effect. In a 128 block radius, mobs will not be allowed to spawn naturally. So the thing that's cool about this is you can make it into an incense, and you can burn it so that mobs will stay away from your base. Obviously, we don't need that because we have the mega torches. But if you didn't have, or if you were in a pack that didn't have mega torches, then something like that would be really useful. Brew of Crimson Shade. An aura of bloodthirst around any entity. Mobs will be allowed to spawn regardless of light or other conditions. This won't work with emptiness, obviously. This would be useful for a mob farm. Marine Allure. Absolution. Oh, that's cool. Clear all negative potion effects. Yeah, so this thing is really handy to have, and it's not that difficult to make. It basically replaces your brewing stand and does things slightly better. Okay, so the next thing that we need to get into is Terra Steel production. Again, there's a couple of ways to go about this. If you're doing just the pure Britannia route, which is what we're gonna do, then it's kind of a process. But if you're in this pack and you want to make yourself some Terra Steel, you can you can cast it from molten Terra Steel you get from a cow. There's chickens that lay Terra Steel ingots. And there's also, there we go, the Terra Steel essence from Mystical Agriculture. So really, what we're about to do here, you don't need to do in the pack. You absolutely do not. You can just, you don't have to make the terrestrial agglomeration plate. You don't have to do any of that. I want to because it's fun. So, to make the terrestrial agglomeration plate, we need 1 of every kind of basic rune, a block of mana steel, and 3 lapis blocks. So, let's get crafting. For a fire, did we already make? Yeah, we already made water. So we need to make fire, mana, earth, and air. Oh, we have a fire rune. Wonder where that came from. Do we have any other? No. Okay. Let's go rune. Rube. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm a rube. Rune of air. It needs mana powder, mana steel, carpet, feather, and string. We have plenty of feathers. Let's just keep all those. Do I have any carpet? I do not. That's fine because I have tons of string in here. And let's just do part of this. There we go. Oh, forgot how to make carpets there for a second. Alright, carpet, feather, string, mana steel, and mana powder. Alright, let's go at it. There we go. That, and that. Awesome. Oh, in case you needed to know, making a rune of fire is actually one of the more complicated ones. You need nether wart, gunpowder, and nether brick, which we have all of that easily accessible to us. But it means that if you're playing this in the come here. If you're playing this without you definitely have to go to the nether first. Okay, so we have last one. We need earth. So we need stone, a block of coal, and a mushroom. Oh, I think we can handle that. We have some coal over here. I filled up that chest. Well, I didn't fill it all the way. I just mostly filled it. So that we could have those keep producing. Although, it seems like we don't need much more mana right now. And then a stone. And, oh, a mushroom. I hope I have mushrooms. If not, I'm sure I can make it with nature essence. Oh, and I have a ton of mushrooms. I believe you can use either kind, but I'm gonna try. I don't know why. Nope, you can. Okay, great. And we need to put more stone down, or we're gonna run out of living rock. Doot, 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 doot. Okay, and that's done. And that should be all of our wands. All of our wands. All of our runes. My goodness. Actually, I tell a lie. We still need to make another mana rune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Okay. Let's load all this stuff back in here. There is also a way I can keep my ring of magnetization from sucking this coal out, which I will get to after we start doing the Terra Steel production. Alright. A piece of living rock. And there's a rune of mana. Great. So, we need one of these, Perfect. We also need 3 blocks of lapis. At the very least. I actually think we need more than that. Yep, that's perfect. Because actually building the terrestrial agglomeration plate requires some groundwork. Okay, so terrestrial agglomeration plate. Okay, we also need a block of mana steel, which I forgot about. That's okay. All right. So this does go a lot faster, having all the basic ingredients, like being able to grow lapis and stuff like that. So we can put this pretty much anywhere because we're going to have to use sparks to power it. But it does require a little bit of stuff done on the ground. And I want to show you another cool feature. Did I lose my shot? Oh no, it's right there. And I want to show you another cool feature of the Lexico Britannia while we're at it. The cool feature is not that it breaks everything. All right. There we go. That'll look better in line with that. Okay. So, Lexica speaking is hard. Lexica Botania. Living wood avatar, meta pylon. This is all stuff that you can use to automate things in Britannia as well. If you don't have any other mods in your pack and you're just working with Britannia, you can automate everything, supposedly, with just vanilla mechanics and whatchamacallit? Mana manipulation, is that it? No. Nope. Generating functional material. Mystical items? Alright. Shift click to see recipe. Okay. So this is instructions in the book on how to create Terra Steel. And it shows you the recipe for creating the plate. If you don't have JEI installed, that can be really useful. And then it shows you the setup that you need around it, which is 5 living rock, whatever. 5 of these, and 4, you can't, the one underneath is actually living rock, you can't really see it. And 4 Lapis Lazuli blocks. But if you hit visualize, what you can do is right click. Is it? Yeah, right there. And a hologram of it will show up in the world. As far as I know, I think this was the first mod to do that, to give you an actual hologram of what you're supposed to be building. Let's see. Fill this back in. I made a mess. That's all right. Okay, so we have our living rock, which goes at the corners and in the middle. And then the lapis, like so. And then finally we put the agglomeration plate in the middle. And it'll tell you structure complete, which is great. So what we need to do next is we need to power this. This requires a ton of mana to turn the ingredients into Terra Steel. So to get that mana from one place to another, the spreaders, I think the spreaders will work, but they're kind of a pain. It's actually much better to use a spark, which is blaze powder, some petals, and a gold nugget. So let's head back over grab that stuff. Let's see. Get some blaze powder. Hello. Yes, plenty of blaze powder. I believe that comes out of loot bags as well. And we'll grab 64 gold nuggets. You'll find that sparks are one of the best ways to transfer mana from place to place. Think of it like the wireless network for mana, where these are conduits and have to be physically near whatever it is they're doing. Sparks are more like a network, wireless network. Okay, let's grab 4. We'll just make 2 for now. You need a minimum of 2 because they have to connect. Of course. I'll just do it by hand. And then a gold nugget in the middle and blaze powder here. Okay, so 2 sparks. Awesome. I should be getting achievements like all over the place here, but I've I've done things slightly out of order, so I'm not going to get any achievements for a while. All right, so if you shift, right click. This has yep, I forgot that this pack has the crop dusting mod installed. So every so often when you crouch down, you get a little sound effect. That's awesome. Okay, so shift right click and that connects this spark to this mana pool. We actually have to shift right click on the mana pool so that the arrow goes from mana pool to items, which means that it will provide mana to this spark. And then we take the secondary spark, shift right click, and it's now part of it will now supply power to this agglomeration plate. And you can see by right clicking, you can see that they're connected. You have to use your Wand of the Forest, but when you right click, it'll show you all of the sparks that are in the network. If you have a spark that's not getting power for some reason, this is really useful to find out where it's coming from or not coming from. Also, sparks do have a certain range. I don't remember exactly what it is, but you can find it in the book. And yeah, sometimes you have to set up more than one spark to get the mana to a particular location. But that is unfortunately all we have time for today. I know, it's very sad. We're moving right along in Britannia. We're already up to the creation of Terra Steel, which is pretty cool and very exciting because when we finish that, we can make our portal to Alfheim. Yay! Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye!